Welcome to part 2 of the series on habit formation. When it comes to habits, there are certain key techniques that will greatly increase or decrease, that is, if you neglect them, your chances of adopting successful habits. It's important that we go over them so you understand why you keep failing if you've tried in the past to adopt new habits, and why you will succeed this time if you follow this approach. Now, there are 5 key things to focus on: self-awareness, setting clear or SMART goals, taking small and manageable steps to gradually integrate new habits into your life, maintaining consistency and seeking accountability, which I'll go over the accountability piece because I feel it's a little tricky and can go both ways, practicing patience and perseverance, which are very essential for long-term success, and last but not the least, reflecting and adjusting to your environment. Now, I've used this approach on many habits, but one in particular that has had a massive impact on my life is the ability to get up in the early hours of the day, just to get a head start in life. I had tried everything from various alarm clocks to loud alarms to soothing alarms to putting your alarm into the next room to having a nightly routine, to having a dark room, to having cooler temperatures. I mean, the list goes on. I think I've pretty much tried everything that I could find on the internet. Now, some I did have limited success with, but it never really felt natural to me, and I could never sustain it, which was a huge problem. It was always a burden to get up early, and what followed after making myself get up was an even more unproductive day because I had exhausted myself thinking about getting up early and then drag myself out of bed. The result of which was I was just miserable, irritated, and unproductive throughout the rest of the day. Now, the flip side was even worse. On days that I didn't get up early, it felt like I had failed myself and couldn't even live up to my own words. And that also did not translate into a productive or a fun day. Now, I was only able to successfully create the habits after following the steps outlined in this video. It was a process, but I believe the slow process of this approach is what allows the new habits to really sink in, and the old habits to slowly chip away, never to return, hopefully. So, let's start with self-awareness. Self-awareness or mindfulness is the foundational step in building and sustaining any habit. So, what could self-awareness be? Is it being aware of your presence or self? But I guess you know who you are, right? So, do you really know who you are? Do you know of yourself, but are you aware of what makes you you? Getting to learn to know yourself and your conscious and unconscious ways, in my opinion, is self-awareness. Self-awareness requires that you recognize, reflect, and understand your current behaviors and their triggers, which are extremely important, and their impact on your life. The idea is to be able to look at your actions with complete objectivity. Now, it's not happening overnight. It's a slow process, but it'll get better over time. Now, you want to be able to see what your emotions are behind your actions and how you react in certain situations to changes in your environment and circumstances. Objectively looking at your motivations, related actions, and desired and actual outcomes, you can start to get a sense of your ability to act or react in different situations. Having a sense of awareness, or at least grappling with your ability to understand why you do what you do, will enable you to identify which of your current habits are beneficial and which ones are detrimental to yourself. Now, I touched upon this in my goal setting video series. You can click on the link on the right if you want to go see that. That for us to truly give our best to something and reap the rewards of the journey as well as the outcome, it needs to be anchored in our core. So let's talk about some of the steps that have had a tremendous impact on my abilities to adopt new habits. Step number one, meditate. Meditation is absolute essential. Reflect on your current behaviors and identify areas for improvement. It's possible that as soon as you hear the word meditation or meditate, you're already shutting down, thinking, oh no, this is not for me. I don't, or I can't do that. Believe me, it is this mindset that is keeping you in the loop of constant search for the secret sauce. Break free from it and you will achieve the impossible. The negative chatter in your head doesn't want you to stop and meditate. It prefers that you stay committed to the hamster wheel of constant search for the secret sauce. It is afraid that you might see it for what it is, which is just smoke and mirrors. So meditate. Just try to pause your mind for a few minutes and simply give yourself a break. Just reflect on your day and see how it unfolded, what significant events occurred, and how you reacted to them. What areas jump out for your attention? The objective judge within you, if you give him a chance, it will lay it out everything for you in black and white. So I would say let's start with just listening. Number two, keep a journal. Keep a journal to track your daily activities and emotions. It's not as clear at first, but when you sit down and reflect on your emotions, the highs and the lows, then gradually you will start to see the trends and triggers. You will start to connect the dots, and it will be more clear to you how and why you react a certain way in certain situations. You will start to get better about predicting your own reaction to certain situations or stimuli. And then you will enter the act phase where you will consciously decide what actions do you want to take to achieve any desired outcome. This you can only achieve after you've trained yourself to look objectively at your own actions. Now, most of our lives are a compilation of how we react to life. If we can only train ourselves to act instead, our lives would be a lot closer to our ideal. Journaling or effective writing is one of the best ways to disconnect yourself from the noise around you and start to think clearly. Some of the tools that have helped me on the journey, I've used various apps. I've mentioned Notion before. Use tools to monitor your habits. Technology can be an amazing tool if you use it in the right way. So make sure you keep it simple. I've talked about it in my series on lasting success through goal setting. I'll add a link to the video here. You don't want to put any unnecessary roadblocks for yourself. Don't make the tools part more complicated than it needs to be. It doesn't need to be another chore. Be a true friend to yourself and not a frenemy. Keep things simple for yourself and make it easy for yourself to be consistent. Let's talk about mindset that you should strive for. Believing in your ability to succeed and overcome all obstacles. Look at every difficulty as an area of growth. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable and know that you have what it takes to pull through whatever it is that you're struggling with. Embrace a growth mindset, believing that change is possible through effort, patience, and perseverance. Life is as you see it, so believe and succeed. Another thing to keep in mind, be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself about your strengths and weaknesses. Know that it's okay to have weakness. No one's got it all figured out. And if you see someone who looks like they have their shit together, then believe me, it's just an illusion. Plus, you don't really want a life where there's nothing for you to work towards. Nothing for you to do than to just sit around. And I know it may sound good in theory, but in reality, to not be able to create or have a purpose in life is a miserable existence, and human beings thrive best with purpose and a clear path to a continuously and constantly evolving dream, and whatever that may be. So, we all have weaknesses and things we struggle with. Those who face their fears and work on their weaknesses are the ones who truly live a fulfilling life. Moving on to challenges. Here are some challenges you should expect to face. One of the most important ones is denial or lack of awareness about your negative impact of your current habits. One of the ways we handle what we fear or dislike is through denial and indifference. So be honest with yourself and know that you have what it takes to overcome whatever you are struggling with, and it is possible for you. See yourself at the finish line. If others can do it, so can you. Continuous stream of mental and physical hurdles will come your way. And when that happens, know that you are on the right course. Things get difficult at first before they get easy. You will not gain mastery in one day, week, or even a month. It's a continuous process. I keep repeating that. It takes time, so be patient with yourself. Difficulty in objectively assessing your behavior without bias. That's an important one. In the beginning, things are not going to be as clear, which is to be expected at every craft or skill from a beginner. Take comfort in the fact that you are striving for change, and this is not nothing. And things will get easier with time. So be patient with yourself and have a realistic expectation. You didn't get here overnight, and you won't get out of it overnight, but if you stick with it, it will be sooner than you think. Simply put, we have many habits, and self-awareness enables you to make informed decisions about which of your habits to cultivate and which to change. Without self-awareness, it's challenging to make meaningful changes because you may not fully understand what needs to be changed, what needs to be addressed, and how to address it effectively and with the least resistance possible. Now, keeping a journal or using habit tracking apps can help increase your awareness by providing insight into your emotional patterns and past progresses and failures. Thank you so much for listening. Once again, if you found this video helpful, please share. Please, if you've used similar approaches in the past, I would love to hear about them in the comments. Please like and subscribe and support the channel. As promised, I try to upload a video every week to talk about some of these topics that I feel are extremely essential to our lives and how we function. And there just seems to be too much fog around these areas. So thank you. And till next time, peace.